Well, Lionel, you might have taught in this classroom as well, because it was at Newlands, where I had a form room, and I taught some sixth formers in there from time to time. There was a cartoon on the back wall. And it was, I would say it was a sociology classroom, and it was three babies in a cot, and they got a notice up above them, and it said Sunnyside Nursing Home. And one of the babies was looking out of the cot, and it had a speech bubble, which we know about because we're teaching comics at the moment. And the baby was saying, well, thank goodness, we're middle class. My birth was announced in the Times and in the Westminster and Pimlico News, so that may say something about class, or it might not, I have no idea. I've put this one in because it's actually probably 50 years ago, about now. Yes. I think it is. I was 7 hours old. Yes. And that's just to show that I was a beautiful baby. Now, there was another baby born very sort of shortly after me, and Julia had her christening. It has got the date on the back of the picture, and I haven't got it in front of me. But I think it was in May, possibly in April.
No, she was born in it.
She was born in it, she's been telling you. And so there's Julia and me, and I'm very, very glad to see Julia here today. Particularly. I know she's been in touch with my mother, but I haven't seen her since I was 9. You don't look any different.
Yeah, no wrinkles at all. You've always looked that age. I've always looked old, yeah.
I'm not going to go through all the birthdays I've had, because somebody just told me this is my 51st birthday.
Oh, I don't believe that.
It's Andrew. Right, it's actually my 51st. It's my 50th. So
it's the 50th anniversary of your birth.
I don't know, anyway, because I was born on a Saturday, and today's a Saturday as well. Anyway, that was my first birthday. We were looking carefully to see what the toys were, in case there were things like sort of bottles and little boats and things, but it's a sort of wheelie thing. And then, anyway, I was supplanted as a baby because Edward came along. I'm very pleased to see Edward here today, not looking at all different. That cutty thing on his face is on the photograph. I haven't actually done it to. I think, not that one. Now, some of you know, obviously, that I'm very interested in gardening. I enjoy my allotment, and that's obviously clearly started at a very young age. That's my dad. It's not the most flattering picture. That's me, and and we also, enjoy in our garden growing apples, and that again started at quite a young stage as well. John came along in 1960, and I'm glad to see that John is here today. There he is. John with his. I'm sorry, I don't. Well, perhaps that's a good thing. I don't have pictures of everybody who's here, but there you go. And that was me starting school in 1961. I was impressed with these. What nice gardens we had.
Oh.
So very nice.
That's a car park now, that front.
And what happened with this one? I've lost the rest of the birthday party, but that was my 7th birthday party. We were impressed to see that we had the best china there, and a cake, and some doorstep sandwiches, and several empty plates.
Saucers.
Eaten it, and cups and saucers. Boating, we do a lot of nowadays. And it was, yes, the first time I can find a picture of myself at a boat. I don't seem to be looking very happy about it. Naughty face. It's at on the Buckley River. It says on the back again where it was, and I can't remember. Sorry. Yes. That's Julia and me again sometime later. And Richard was born in 1963. There's Richard. Again, looking a little different. And our first day at Greycoat. I went off in my hat and grey coat with another nice garden. I seem to go to school with my dad on these occasions, so I'm sure my mum was at home looking after
anyone takes the pictures.
children. Wendy, unfortunately, couldn't be here today. She's somebody I'm still in contact with from school. She's unfortunately in hospital. We had a long discussion about other people I've been at schools, some of whom have amazing life stories that have happened to them I can't go into now. And here's a group of people who, again, haven't changed at all. That's Mary. Dave, I'm sorry to say, can't come, wasn't able to come today. Jonathan. Andy, I've not been in touch with Andy Fors. If anybody knows where Andy Fors is. But Andy Wright is standing in the corner there, so nice to see you. It's just to demonstrate that some people haven't changed at all, and some people have. That's Jonathan.
What does that mean?
Sat down. Rather less hair. And Deborah. See that? That's Andy and Deborah, and there's Gail. So I'm pleased to say it's managed to arrive, and I'm sorry. The caterer's very embarrassed that he didn't save you any food. I'm sorry about that. If I could say. Dave again, who wasn't able to be here. I did manage to graduate, and it's downhill from there. Again, I was going to say something about Nick, because obviously what I did after I graduated was go off to teach at Newlands and managed to stay there for quite some time before I went anywhere else, when I was forced to go somewhere else, because I came with Andrew. But part of that time I spent working for the NUT part-time, including being on the National Executive, and Nick was kind of my partner, because we had a seating plan on the National Executive. As some of you here will know, having followed me onto that. So I sat next to Nick, who couldn't hear in that ear, and unfortunately, again, is bad with his hip today and can't be here. But Nick is about to come off the National Executive, and Jane has it all to look forward to. Oh. And you've talked to some of your, well, Helen and Roy particularly, who've, I don't tell Jane anything about it because I don't want to put her off. There's Jane. That was a nice New Year party we had. And this was my favourite cartoon. There's Jesus there, and a lot of fishes and those. So there's a sort of biblical reference to the parable of the 5,000. And it says, "Look here, mate, we're from the Bakers and Fishmongers Union." And I couldn't really not put in a photo of Andrew. I had some nice photos of Andrew, and I don't know where they've gone. I couldn't find them. But again, this was, we were laughing a lot, weren't we, about this, because in fact they'd gone on the river in our canoe at Wolverstone on the east coast, and a very big ferryways transporter ship has just gone by, and that's them being sort of bounced about in the wash. And we laughed so much we didn't actually think that Daniel might get drowned. That's Daniel Freeman, one of Dave and Suzanne's children. That's our boat, sailing away there. In fact, that's probably quite close to this very spot. In fact, it is. And this is to say that if I live another 50 years,
You will have a
I'll have a 100th birthday. And there's Auntie May enjoying hers in 1992. I think that's the end. Oh, so I'm going to tell my joke now. Emily, if you know this joke, you mustn't...
Don't interrupt.
She won't interrupt. There's a frog. A frog hops into a bank. Read it, it goes. Yes, and my mother knows it as well. And the frog is served by Miss Patricia Wack, who's the clerk. Yes, if you know it. The frog says, "I'd like a loan, please." And Miss Wack is a little bit kind of concerned by this, because it's not a normal thing for a frog to go into a bank and ask for a loan. So she says, "Well, can you tell me a bit more about yourself, Mr. Frog, please?" He says, "Yes, my name's Kermit Jagger. I'm Mick Jagger's frog." So she goes to the bank manager, Miss Wack. She says, "It's a very odd thing out here. There's a frog here and he wants a loan." So the bank manager says, "Well, has he got some sort of security?" So she goes back and says to the frog, "Is there something you can give me to demonstrate that you're serious about paying back this money, Mr. Frog, Mr. Kermit Jagger?" And the frog hands over a little pink ornament. And Mrs. Wack is very, very puzzled by this. So she goes back to the bank manager and says, "Well, he's still there, he's still asking for a loan, and he's giving me this. What should I do with it? What is it?" So the bank manager says, "It's a knick-knack, Patty Whack. Give the frog a loan. His old man's a rolling stone."